All right, hello everyone, and welcome to today's Gems of War video. In this video, I have for you my strategy guide for the Kingdom of Merlantis. Now, Merlantis is one of the two Ice Kingdoms that has a life bonus that can also reach the Power 30 cap. The other is Stormheim. In comparison, Stormheim has significantly more troop options than Merlantis, making it easier to max out in most circumstances. So out of the five ice kingdoms that can reach the power cap, and that, of course, that does not include Midnight, Merlantis is the most likely to be the last one on your list, unless you really like Merfolk. So, in the strategy guide, I'm going to focus on the troops available in Merlantis, including my ranked list of base mythic troops currently available, as well as the troops that are not available in the standard chest drop tables. I'll also be talking about the weapons that are available in the Soulforge during Merlantis week, as well as the class weapon and a weapon that can be crafted outside of Merlantis week. And I'll also review the Tidecaller hero class and all current Merlantis pets. But of course, we're going to start with the troops as we normally do. And as a reminder, you need a total of 39 troops that you can unlock all traits for and get to level 20. And at least two of them must be base level mythic troops. Challenge here is that Merlantis currently only has 41 total troops, so you can only be missing two of them and still max out Merlantis. Now, my top pick for base mythics is Pycea. Pycea's spell destroys all green gems and creates the same number of blue gems. Then Pycea has two 30% chances to devour a random enemy, and Pycea also has spell damage reduction and gives all blue allies 4 attack when matching blue gems. When Pycea is on your team, it will most likely be in the first slot, as you'll want its beefy attack stat there once one of those devour chances pays off. Pycea also synergizes very well with Nimue, who uses the green mana that Pycea generates and converts yellow gems to skulls, allowing Pycea to unleash spell damage to whatever enemy team is remaining. Next, we have Aquaticus. Aquaticus is still relevant for certain blue mana and or elemental restriction teams. Her spell does light splash damage randomly 3 times and explodes half the blue gems on the board. She also submerges all allies when matching 4 or more gems. Her spell and traits do put her in the sub DPS category when it comes to team building. And the biggest caveat for Aquaticus is that she does not count as a merfolk, counts as an elemental and a mystic. Then the third one on my list is Dago'Nath, the recently added base mythic troop from a recent campaign. Dago'Nath does damage to 4 random enemies, boosted by submerged gems, crumbles the team 50% of the time when using his spell, and creates a submerged gem when his turn begins. Overall, this can be a great Merlantis troop. I did not think that he was worth the cost of the campaign pass, but I am planning to get him when he's available in the Soulforge set. Last and least, we have Undyne. Undyne damages a selected enemy plus the next enemy in the stack. He also submerges blue allies, he silences blue enemies, submerges himself at the start of every turn, and tells bad jokes. Overall, I feel the scenario where I might use him would be to combat an enemy team that has to use blue mana. However, if I do, I feel like there's going to be better options available. So, Merlantis currently has 7 troops that are not available in the standard chest drop tables, and they are the 5 Sea of Sorrow troops that can only be pulled from the faction's portal, the King of Cups that can only be earned by beating up Cedric and unlocking his vaults. Overall, not a big fan of this card. And Treviamus is a base legendary troop that was previously available in PvP, and you can now only lock Treviamus when it is available in the Soulforge. Now, as for weapons, you need to have fully tempered weapons to max out Merlantis, and there's 17 available. We'll talk about the Cursebreaker Javelin first. Now, the Cursebreaker Javelin, in my opinion, is a skippable weapon. You can craft it in Soulforge at any time. However, most Cursebreaker weapons, it's highly unlikely you'll ever see the need to use it, as it requires Forge Scrolls to temper it. Likewise, the Doomed Dirk is also not likely to leave its spot in your armory once you get it. It deals damage to the last enemy with a maximum 30% chance to deal fatal damage. If you're underpowered, weapons like this can help situationally. However, you're far better off investing in the weapons that will help your account out in the long run, especially when forged scrolls are available. The Three Sisters is the class weapon for Merlantis. It's a pretty decent one. If you feel that your Merlantis team is lacking damage potential, equipping this weapon will probably help you out. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is the Writhing Staff, which is the Sea of Sorrow's faction weapon, and is only available during a Sea of Sorrow faction assault. I do like that it creates skulls and entangles the first enemy. That gives you some protection from the skulls you created, boomeranging back to you. Had it used green mana, it would be worth considering. Since it does not, you can probably skip this one unless you really think you need it to get to the requisite number of weapons unlocked and fully tempered. So now we're going to talk about the Tidecaller class. And the Tidecaller class, in my opinion, is a decent weapon for Merlantis. And at level 70, you have a choice between one of three bonus mana that you can select, either blue, green, or purple. But overall, this is a class that I usually care about when it's Merlantis week, and then when it's not Merlantis week, I completely forget about it because there are a lot of other classes that are better than this one. Finally, we have the pets, and Squidlet is the Kingdom Boost pet. So you get this one from Pet Rescue, and Starry Squidlet is the other Kingdom Boost pet and can be obtained by completing the Epic Trials during Merlantis Week. Bulb Biter is the Faction Boost pet, and you'll max out this pet automatically by obtaining the maximum renown in the Sea of Sorrow. Of the remaining pets, Krabby boosts water teams, which only activates when the team is all unique troops that use blue mana. And Guppy boosts Merfolk teams, which activates if your team has 3 unique Merfolk. And then finally, you've got Octagonist, which boosts Merfolk teams in Bay of Stars. Now, the Bay of Stars can be voted to a Merlantis or a Merfolk restriction, but it does not happen often enough for this pet to have any relevant value. And with the other pets being cosmetics, if you do not have any of those unlocked, your best bet is to plan to max out the Squidlets and Bulbiter. I would say that Guppy provides the best boost of all the other options, so I would recommend maxing that pet out. And then from there, unlock Krabby or wait for another pet to possibly be added to the kingdom later. So let's review. Do not rush to max out Merlantis. Max out Glacial Peaks, Leonis Empire, Gorge Edge, and possibly Stormheim first. You can get the troops, weapons, and pets you need today if you're ready to max out Merlantis, or wait for more options to come along, and level up Tidecaller class when you're ready to get Merlantis to Power 20. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, subscribe to this channel, and or follow me on Twitch if you'd like to see more of my content. And in the comments below, let me know what you think of Merlantis. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.